20 unbelievable historical facts that will blow your mind. Prepare to have your mind blown by 20 historical facts that defy belief and challenge the very fabric of what we consider possible. These astonishing events are so bizarre, they'll make you question whether history is stranger than fiction. Let's dive into the unbelievable past that shaped our world in ways you never imagined. But here's where it gets controversial. Some of these events are so outlandish, they've sparked heated debates among historians. And this is the part most people miss. Each one reveals a side of humanity that textbooks often gloss over: our unpredictability, absurdity, and boundless creativity. 20. The miracle of the sun. In 1917, thousands of witnesses claimed to see the sun dance in the sky, defying all laws of physics. This unexplained phenomenon has puzzled scientists and religious scholars for over a century. 19. The dancing plague of Madagascar. In the 19th century, an entire village in Madagascar was struck by an uncontrollable dance frenzy. The cause remains a mystery, leaving historians and medical experts scratching their heads. 18. Boston's Great Fire of 1872. A devastating blaze swept through the city, causing widespread destruction and forcing a massive rebuild. This event reshaped Boston's skyline and left a lasting impact on urban planning. 17. Dublin's Great Beer Flood. In 1839, a ruptured beer vat caused a catastrophic flood of ale, turning the streets into a foamy mess and causing panic among the locals. 16. The exploding whale of Oregon. In 1970, authorities attempted to dispose of a decaying whale with explosives, resulting in a disastrous explosion that sent whale parts flying through the air. The aftermath was a sticky, smelly mess that captured the world's attention. 15. Tsutomu Yamaguchi, the man who survived 2 atomic bombs. Yamaguchi's incredible story of surviving both Hiroshima and Nagasaki is a testament to human resilience. His tale is a sobering reminder of the horrors of nuclear warfare. 14. The Year Without a Summer. In 1816, volcanic ash from the eruption of Mount Tambora caused a global chill, leading to crop failures and widespread famine. This event had a profound impact on society and culture, inspiring works of art and literature. 13. The Tanzania Laughter Epidemic. In 1962, uncontrollable laughter spread through a school in Tanzania, forcing its closure and affecting several nearby villages. The cause of this bizarre outbreak remains a mystery. 12. The Phantom Time Hypothesis. Some historians believe that an entire era of the Middle Ages was invented, leading to a rewrite of the historical timeline. This controversial theory challenges our understanding of the past. 11. The Great Stink of 1858. The unbearable stench of the River Thames forced the British Parliament to temporarily relocate. This event highlighted the urgent need for improvements in sanitation and public health. 10. The War of the Whiskers. In the 17th century, a ridiculous dispute over facial hair nearly sparked a war between European royals. This absurd conflict serves as a reminder of the petty reasons that can lead to international tensions. 9. London's Beer Flood of 1814. A ruptured beer vat caused a massive flood of ale, turning the streets into a chaotic, foamy mess. This disaster resulted in several deaths and left a lasting impact on the city's infrastructure. 8. The Molasses Flood of 1919. A ruptured storage tank released a wave of molasses into the streets of Boston, creating a deadly and sticky disaster. This event led to significant changes in industrial safety regulations. 7. The Pig War of 1859. A single pig caused a tense standoff between the United States and Britain, nearly leading to a full-scale war. This bizarre incident highlights the unpredictable nature of international relations. 6. Operation Northwoods. In the 1960s, the U.S. government proposed a plan to stage fake attacks on its own citizens to justify a war with Cuba. This shocking proposal reveals the depths to which governments will go to manipulate public opinion. 5. The Defenestrations of Prague. In medieval times, throwing politicians out of windows was a common way to settle disputes. This bizarre practice reveals the violent and often absurd nature of political conflicts. 4. The Cadaver Synod. In 897 AD, a dead pope was put on trial for alleged crimes committed during his lifetime. This bizarre event highlights the strange and often macabre practices of the medieval church. 3. The Dancing Plague of 1518. In Strasbourg, hundreds of people danced non-stop for days, collapsing from exhaustion. This bizarre phenomenon remains a mystery, with theories ranging from mass hysteria to ergot poisoning. 2. Operation Paul Bunyan. In 1976, a dispute over a tree trimming led to a massive military show of force by the U.S., nearly sparking a war with North Korea. This incident reveals the potential for small disputes to escalate into major conflicts. 1. The Great Emu War of 1932. In Australia, farmers faced off against a horde of emus in a battle that ended in a surprising defeat for the humans. This event serves as a reminder of the unpredictable nature of nature and the importance of respecting the animal kingdom. These 20 historical facts are just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the unbelievable events that have shaped our world. So, what do you think? Are these events too bizarre to be true, or do they reveal a side of humanity that we often overlook? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let us know which of these facts surprised you the most. And if you enjoyed this article, be sure to sign up for our weekly newsletter of jokes and trivia to keep the fun going. Jay Leno criticizes political late-night hosts after Colbert's Late Show cancellation. Imagine a world where comedy and politics collide and the laughter stops. This is the harsh reality that late-night TV hosts are facing today, and it's a topic that's sparking intense debate. But here's where it gets interesting. Jay Leno, a veteran of the late-night scene, has just weighed in on the issue, and his comments are sure to ruffle a few feathers. In a recent interview with David Trulio for the Ronald Reagan Presidential Foundation, Leno shared his thoughts on mixing politics and humor and why he thinks it's a recipe for disaster. I like to think that people come to a comedy show to kind of get away from the pressures of life, wherever it might be, Leno said, and I love political humor, don't get me wrong, but what happens is people wind up cozying too much to one side or the other. Leno's comments come at a time when the late-night TV landscape is undergoing a significant shift. Just recently, CBS announced the cancellation of The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, a move that sent shockwaves through the entertainment industry. Colbert, a vocal critic of President Donald Trump, has been a staple of late-night TV for years, and his show has been known for its sharp political commentary. But Leno's comments suggest that this type of humor may not be as effective as it once was. Why shoot for just half an audience? Why not try to get the whole audience? He posed. This is a question that gets to the heart of the issue. Can comedy and politics coexist, or do they inevitably drive people apart? Leno's own experience as a late-night host is informative here. During his time on The Tonight Show, he made a conscious effort to avoid taking sides, instead focusing on humor that would appeal to a broad audience, and it's an approach that seemed to work, as his show was consistently one of the highest rated in the late-night slot. But times have changed, and the current crop of late-night hosts, including Jimmy Fallon and Jimmy Kimmel, have taken a different approach. They've opted for sharper critiques of the current president, and it's a move that sparked both praise and criticism. And this is the part most people miss. The line between comedy and politics is blurry, and it's often difficult to know when to cross it. Leno's comments are a reminder that comedy should be about bringing people together, not driving them apart. I like to bring people into the big picture, he said. I don't understand why you would alienate one particular group. But not everyone agrees. Conservative commentator Piers Morgan, for example, has been vocal in his criticism of Colbert and the politicization of late-night TV. In a recent post, he called Colbert's left-wing tilt damning. Most of America's biggest late-night hosts have become nothing more than hyper-partisan activist hacks for the Democrats, a party that's rarely been more unpopular, Morgan wrote. No wonder Colbert got canned. The controversy surrounding Colbert's cancellation is a complex one, and it's likely to continue for some time. But one thing is clear, the future of late-night TV is uncertain. and it will be interesting to see how hosts navigate the treacherous waters of comedy and politics. So we want to hear from you. Do you think comedy and politics can coexist? Or do they inevitably drive people apart? Let us know in the comments. And this is a question that's sure to spark some debate. Can late-night TV hosts find a way to make comedy that's both funny and respectful? Or are these two goals mutually exclusive? The answer, much like the future of late-night TV itself, remains to be seen. Jay Leno's controversial take on comedy, balancing act, or one-sided bias? The curious case of Jay Leno's call for balanced late-night comedy. In the ever-evolving landscape of late-night television, one name seems to resurface amidst controversy: Jay Leno. But here's where it gets controversial. Leno's recent comments on the need for balanced comedy in late night have sparked a heated debate. Let's dive into the details. The return of a familiar face. It's a pattern that's hard to ignore. Whenever a significant shift occurs in the late-night scene, Jay Leno finds his way back into the conversation. From the 1990s, when David Letterman lost the coveted spot on The Tonight Show, to the brief tenure of Conan O'Brien, Leno has been there, ready to step in. And now, with the recent firing of Stephen Colbert, Leno is back in the spotlight, but not as a replacement. Instead, he's taken the opportunity to express his views on the current state of late-night comedy. A call for balance. In an interview with David Trulio of the Ronald Reagan Presidential Foundation and Institute, Leno lamented the perceived one-sidedness of late-night comedy. He argued that comedians should aim to appeal to a broader audience rather than catering to just one political side. Why shoot for just half an audience all the time? Why not try to get the whole? Leno said. I like to bring people into the big picture, the reality of late night. It's true that Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon, and Colbert have been relentless in their criticism of President Trump. However, given Trump's controversial presidency, it's not surprising that they would focus on him. Leno and Trulio's call for a both-sides approach seems to overlook the fact that these comedians are not news anchors but entertainers, whose job is to provide humor, not a balanced news report. The power dynamics. It's important to note that the current political landscape is dominated by the Republican Party. The idea of equal power between the two major parties is a myth. If Leno truly wants to see more jokes about Democrats, perhaps he should advocate for a more balanced political representation in the government. The Reagan Revolution and the Fairness Doctrine. The discussion wouldn't be complete without mentioning the Reagan administration's decision to eliminate the Fairness Doctrine in 1987. This policy required broadcasters to present opposing viewpoints, ensuring a balanced discourse. The removal of this doctrine paved the way for a media revolution with the rise of conservative talk radio and figures like Rush Limbaugh. It's ironic that Leno, who benefited from this deregulation, now calls for balance in late-night comedy. The current climate. Despite the absence of the Fairness Doctrine, late-night comedy has remained predominantly left-leaning, much to the chagrin of Leno and others. The Trump administration's recent insistence on viewpoint diversity in CBS's news broadcasts, through the appointment of an ombudsman, seems to be an attempt to impose conservative views where they have not naturally succeeded. Jay Leno, the fair and balanced comedian. Leno's claim to be a fair and balanced comedian is questionable. A 2009 study by George Mason University found that during his tenure as The Tonight Show host, Leno told significantly more jokes about Bill Clinton than George W. Bush. This suggests that Leno's comedy has always leaned towards the center-right. Moreover, Leno's treatment of Monica Lewinsky with relentless slut-shaming hardly aligns with his current call for civility. A future of late night. The success of comedians like Greg Gutfeld and Bill Maher shows that conservative views can still find a platform in the comedy world. However, the question remains, can a late-night show truly be seen as fair and balanced if it goes after Democrats more? The answer is complex, as it depends on the context and the audience's perception. In conclusion, Jay Leno's call for balanced comedy in late night raises important questions about the role of comedians in a polarized political climate. While it's true that late-night shows have leaned left in recent years, it's also true that they are not news programs and should not be held to the same standards. The debate over balance in late-night comedy is likely to continue, but one thing is clear. Jay Leno's return to the conversation has certainly stirred the pot.